Okay, I'm gonna show you how I've been making chewing tobacco here in the Philippines. So I just go to the market and I buy this. It says Mascadas Tagalog. It's a tobacco that you can buy in the market. So this is the package that you're gonna look for. And inside the package it has these sticks and they look like this. And I think you get about 8 sticks in one pack. And so what I do is just take this little sticker thing off of there. And then it's good if you have a better set of scissors. These are kind of not so great. But then I just cut it up into little pieces. These scissors, I can't find the good scissors that we had, so I'm trying to use these little scissors. They might not work too good. So anyway, you just kind of slowly go back and forth, cut this down all the way down to the bottom. We'll go ahead and pause the video now, and then I'll come back when we're done and we'll fine grain chop it up and cook it up. Okay, so after we chop one of these sticks up, it looks about like that, and then we continue cutting it with the scissors, and it takes some time to chop it all up unless you want some real big chunks. I kind of like not a real fine grain, but kind of like a long grain chewing tobacco. So we just keep chopping it, and then after a while it gets down to about the size you want, and then that's when you're going to cook it up. So here in a minute I'm going to pause the video, and then we'll get it to the grain that we like, that I like it, and then I'll show you how to cook it up. Okay, these tobacco sticks like this are basically, it's just a leaf that's been rolled up and cut off, and I don't know if you can see it here, but you can kind of squeeze that. And sometimes you can't get these types of sticks, but you might be able to find a whole leaf. I found one place that was selling like a whole leaves, and I used those and it was okay, but I kind of like these better. I don't know, just they're a little bit more moist, where the whole leaf is really dried out and doesn't seem to have as much flavor. So anyway, I have my lovely assistant here, my beautiful wife, is chopping up this tobacco for me, and it's getting pretty good now. It's almost done. Here in a minute we're going to show you how to cook it up and put some flavoring in it, so that it doesn't just taste like you're chewing on some kind of pipe tobacco or something, you know. It really makes a big difference if you put some flavoring in there. So here in a minute we're going to do that. Okay, so this is the tobacco that we have chopped up. It's ready to go. That's one stick, and it's about enough for 1 can, or a little over 1 can. And I'm going to use the pineapple chunks, just the juice, for the seasoning. And I have a wok here, so I want to go ahead and put it on the stove and put it on a low temperature. I'm using a gas stove, so I'll put it down as low as I can. You don't want it too hot. And then just put you some pineapple juice in there. You don't need a whole lot. Okay, we'll start with that. Let's see. I don't know if you can see there, it's It's not a lot of juice in there. There we go. And mainly we're going to cook it down to where the pineapple juice is, all the juice is gone and it's just the pineapple flavor. And then also we do have a little bit of extra pineapple flavor. We may put that in at the end. So let's let this get warmed up good. I'll turn the heat up for a second. And you'll start to see the pineapple juice is warming up. It's bubbling like that. Now it's cooking, so I'm going to turn it back down. Kind of a low heat simmer. And I'll put my tobacco in there. Just let that cook slowly. And I'm going to stir that up. I'll get my stirrer ready here. I'll just use a spoon. Okay. So all I want is some of that juice to absorb into the tobacco. I think I might have to put a little bit more juice in there. Put a little bit more juice in there. Yeah, you want your heat just to be on a low simmer, about as low as you can get it. Put a little more pineapple juice. Just kind of stir it around. And then what you want it to do is just kind of halfway dry it out. You don't want it too dry, like you don't want to cook it all out and then it just becomes really dry. But the purpose for me is so it's moist and it has some flavor. You can use whatever flavor you want. I mean, if you have strawberry flavor, or I'm using pineapple, but I've heard of people using peach flavor. And it's not going to really make it taste like pineapples. It just gives a little bit of flavor that kind of takes away the flavor of, you know, like you got a big chaw of smoked tobacco from a pipe, smoked tobacco in there in your mouth. Just gives a little bit nicer of a flavor. Stir that around. And, you know, I think it's almost done now. And that's about it. Turn the stove off. You can get you a little pinch. It's kind of hot. It tastes good, and it's not it's got a good kick to it. The nicotine's still in there, and it's got a lot of flavor. It's moist, and I've been using this just out of necessity because I couldn't get anything else. So I told a couple of friends of mine about it, and they were interested how to do it. So I just made this video to help my friends and anybody else that might want to make their own chewing tobacco. Okay, I'll just take an old can of chew, open it up, and I'm just going to pack it in there. It's still pretty hot. Like I said, one stick will make about 1 can, maybe a can and a half. If you pack it in there real tight, you could probably fit it all in 1 can. So, yeah, it's a good tight fit for 1 can. That's just using 1 stick. And it is pretty moist, but I tell you what, I'd rather have it moist than too dry. When you have it too dry, it just tastes like you just took a cigarette and put it in your mouth. So anyway, you can pack it all in there, get it in. There you go. Got you a can of chewing tobacco. That's it. Hope you guys like the video. If it helps you, like it, and maybe share it with some friends.